Once they added on and went into the encroachment, they still got a permit for it. But when you're doing a sale, if there is a loan, you cannot show the encroachment on the title policy. They will not, it's very hard for lenders to loan when you show an encroachment. So what California Title did, because we're underwritten by many, many companies, we put them through 2 companies, they would not insure them. Our third company, which is a good company, they did insure it, and we did 2 addendums for the buyer and the seller regarding the wall to leave so that the wall was not part of the title insurance, though they get title insurance for their home. So this is all the time how California Title is always trying to make your deals happen. Last week, and Rebecca, remember last week? I would say probably I was down at the city 6 different times because we had a situation where there was an easement that was put on in 1947. It was abated in 1987. It was a 4-foot easement in the back, running through the back of the home. However, when it was abated in 1987, they added into the code, which is 10 feet instead of the 4 feet. But when it looked to us, when we quickly looked at it, it looked like it was just taken away. But when I went down to the city and I got the easement drawings, I could see that it was added on to meet the code in 1987. And Rebecca will tell you, the buyer was a very sophisticated real estate broker, and it was supposed to close, it wasn't closing, and finally, probably on the 5th day, we did close. I had to call him too to explain everything, but you know, this is what makes us different. It's all about the service level, it's all about helping you, making, even if it wasn't my transaction and Rebecca and Brenda needed me, I'd be there for them. So that's why services today are so important, you know, that you have people that, you know, support you. Thank you.
And we deal with it every single day behind the scenes with our legal department. And the pain when we don't have the control. And the happy, you know, the ability to really solve the problem and get the deal closed when we have the control is huge. So Roberta, a 10-second good morning, and then we're going to jump into needs and wants, or Stacy too.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. And now once Cam closes the deal and Stacy also closes the deal, then the home warranty comes on board. And I can't stress to you enough how important it is to give them a copy of what they're getting, because they, even though they may not read it, knowledge is power. We had a situation in the office where the homeowner thought that it was only a $65 fee, and it is only, but when there's 2 situations where it's either a furnace replacement or a hot water replacement, there are modification charges that no home warranty company picks up. So if there is a furnace replacement or AC and a hot water heater, it's not just the $65. There are some retrofit modifications that the homeowner is responsible for. So if you get that phone call, ask them to read the brochure. Scott, would you like me to make sure this gets e-blasted out again?
Let's do that.
Because that's your due diligence and your fiduciary duty, that you at least disclose what's covered, what's not. This is a phenomenal product, but you have to make sure they're understanding what is in here, okay? So I got your back. I'll make sure it takes care of, but you got to make sure you disclose. So thank you.
Thank you, Roberta. Stacy, good morning.
Good morning.
What's new in the escrow world?
A new and updated app. How many of you have an app on your phone, iPhone, smartphone, that will run a net sheet that fast and get it to your client? Anybody? Nope. Okay, I'm going to pass them around. They have a QR code reader. You can download the app like that. Super fun, super easy, and I saw it. The upgrades are good. It's pretty close. So if you need one that's a little more dead on, call me and I will run it for you. But if you're running around and someone wants it fast, this is a really fast and easy. Try it out. I think you're really going to like it. And thank you all very much for
Should we
your
hand
service.
these out?
Yep, I'm going to.
You gonna hand them out? You want some help?
Sure.
We'll get the half over here. Here we go.
Thank you.
I like that app idea of giving them a very good, I would never say the exact number, but to give them a good idea what costs can be. Susie,
Speaking of apps, when we were at one of the original meetings.
let me give you the microphone.
Oh, this is the app. No, the Cal Title has an app. Didn't they tell us at the
Yes, they do.
regional meeting? Could we have somebody come and talk to us about it in detail? I mean,
Did Cam? Cam?
because I think they, other offices said they had it and it was really helpful.
Cam, quick question. For the Cal Title app, how quickly can we get a class set up and who would teach that? Now let's let everybody hear.
Hi there. Okay. Jim McCahill, I can get him here next week.
Wow.
He is
So-
the one that started the apps for a lot of the title companies, but he works for us. And it's supposedly the best app.
All right, next week.
And so I'm saying next week. I'll
What-
call him right now as I leave.
What time is good? We can do Tuesday. Crystal, when is the marketing overview weekly now? 11?
11:15.
11:15, so we have time to have the meeting, go on preview, we have something come back.
She sends an email so that you can RSVP because we need to have materials ready for you. So.
Okay, so
What's-
what time should I?
Well, what's better for everybody? Afternoon on Tuesday or another day? Well, we've got preview right after the meeting, and then we have the marketing overview class at 11:15. So it would be 1, 2, is that better than another day? Okay, 1 o'clock, we'll work on 1 o'clock next week.
I'll be very honest with you because we've done it in Laguna. It literally takes 10 minutes. He puts it up.
Why don't you just go first as part of the marketing?
Okay, we'll make it part of the marketing
Yeah,
next week.
yeah,
And it'll be the
that way
beginning of the marketing class.
you
So
can hear 10 minutes
11:15,
and then
if you can
everyone
confirm it, that's
disperse.
what we do.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
perfect. Good morning. Is this a need and a want?
No, this is really quickly. It's about Cam. Cam spent 3 days at the city for us last week.
I told them 6.
I know, no, it was 3 full days, and it was just amazing. And the other, the buyer was an agent, and he was blown away. He's like, "What title rep does that?" I'm like, "Cam does." And anyway, she was a huge help. I love you. Thank you. 6-3, whatever.
And if we're not tuned in to be able to talk to our clients about all these things that we do to protect the client, we're missing out on a major part of communicating value. And we have an industry where everybody expects $25,000, $30,000 for services, but for our fees because. Well, the consumer isn't paying it because. They're investing in a check to hire you and your company because they see value, that they're gonna get a great return on that investment. And it's there. It's there because of that story. It's there because of the legal team behind the scenes. It's there because of escrow and all the security that you're bringing to our clients when most of our escrow competitors aren't compliant and doing things necessary. But hey, we've got to be able to talk about it. We've got to be able to educate the consumer so they realize they have to be represented by you and your company if they're going to be protected, if they're going to sell at the highest price. That's worth $25,000, $50,000, $100,000. But just showing up and saying, "I'm a realtor, please hire me and pay me $30,000, $50,000, $100,000, that's insane. And that's a lot of what's going on in our business. Well, I'm in real estate. I work for XYZ. Of course you should pay me. Are you kidding? That's just not the way the world goes around today. Huge opportunity for us because most of our competitors are not very good at articulating their value. But you ask a high-powered attorney, why them at $950 an hour, and you're going to get 10 bullet points on exactly why. Why is that? That wasn't rhetorical.
One is because you have a great team and a great TC, so you stay with compliance.
Well, that transaction coordinator part's too. The attorney is crystal clear on her value or his value. They're crystal clear for a lot of reasons that they will give you like that, and after they give you the reasons, they're going to support what they just said with something called a track record. And they're going to say, we're excited to work for you because we've represented 73 cases just like yours, and we've won 72 of them. Now, at that point, how likely are you to go out and go shop for an attorney that charges $240 an hour? No. No, it's about winning. I have to win my case. I have to. I have to sell my house with the confidence that I'm gonna make money, that you're gonna make me money and you're gonna protect me in the process. This is what we're offering. But how on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself on how good you are at telling that story to somebody? Room to improve? Massive room to improve? Getting really honest? Yeah, opportunity. So we're going to keep talking about it. All right, I'm going to read sales. Let's do needs and wants. If you have something coming up. And yeah, real quick before needs and wants. And Aaron, I was at a charity golf tournament yesterday, and we did have some Berkshire Hathaway golfers. I do not golf because I refuse to do something I'm terrible at, even for a good cause. Someday I might venture back out. But this was the Go for the Green Team Johnny 3. Well, Johnny Bash is a colleague in our industry, a lender, who last August, 30-year-old guy, dove off the boat in the Colorado River and hit a sandbar and came up a quadriplegic, paralyzed from the neck, kind of neck to chest down. And I've known his dad for years, and Johnny's a guy that didn't have his life together early on in his 20s, trying to find his way. Mid-20s, he gets into the loan business, and he's just on it. You just see him growing, and became the #1 guy in his company. So this is a 30-year-old guy on top of the world. Everything's wonderful, and all of a sudden tragedy hits. So this was a fundraiser golf tournament for him. Obviously, the needs are massive, and Berkshire was a whole sponsor, which I was so proud to do as a company. And they packed out the Coyote Hills golf course up in Fullerton. Amazing event, raised a lot of money. And I was looking at some of the sponsors, and a silver sponsor, I'm not even sure how much money this is, but talk about just doing things under the radar. I didn't even know about this, but the silver sponsor, one of the sponsors for the event was our own Aaron Valenti, who, Aaron, there's a great plaque for you, and I didn't even know you knew about that event, but
I know you do.
yeah.
Small world.
Way to give back.
Yeah, thank you. He's a good friend of mine.
Is he?
Yeah.
So, does that put things in perspective or what? I don't care how bad your escrow is. You're here today and you're not paralyzed. I mean, we have so much going for us. And this guy is, I'll keep you posted, because he just like he approached his business, he's on recovery in a huge way, and he's doing physical therapy and actually has more movement in his arms than a while back, and hasn't even been a year yet. So we're all pulling for the guy. But that was just fantastic, Aaron. And great event. Our industry rallied. A lot of real estate people were there supporting. And so I hope it's an annual thing. And it would just be fun to be on this journey, helping a colleague come back. All right, needs and wants, and I'm going to read sales.
Hi, I'm Susan, a TC here, approved by the company. I brought flyers today. Having a TC to segue with what Scott was saying, it's just so important to be seen as a team and get that smooth flow of all those documents, and we're all very good at it here, all the TCs, so thanks.
Well, welcome. Good to have you part of the team.
Thank you.
Can't hear you.
I'm going to do that.
I couldn't hear you.
Hello,
Andrea.
yes, Andrea Hamilton, and I just
We
got.
gotta stand
I
over
have to get in the camera.
Yes.
Okay,
Like
I don't
right
like
a little
that.
more. How are we good?
We're good.
Okay. And I just signed a new listing. That's going to be in One Ford Road. It's going to come on next Friday. It's a summer house plan 1. So 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, main floor master, and a private jacuzzi. And it's just designed like impeccable. So I don't have professional photos done yet, but if you go on my Facebook, I have some snapshots. And if you have anyone looking in One Ford, we'd love to get you in before it hits the market, which will be next Friday. So contact me.
Right.
Oh, 2649.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Just real quick, I sent out an email to all of you yesterday. I've got 7 listings, all offering 4% to you guys. 3 of them are not on the market yet. They're going on the market in the next week. I'd love to still pay you the 4%, even though they're not in the MLS yet. So please take a look at that email I sent out. And I've got one new one in Pasadena. So if anyone's looking for Pasadena, which I doubt out of this office, but just by chance.
How much?
It's $898, and it's 2,000 square feet.
Okay. And go back. Who else? Mr. Simon,
Good morning.
we'll let you stand right here.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Mark Simon, and we have listed the largest R2 Ocean View lot in Corona Del Mar.
Whoa.
It's just a hair under 2 full lots. It's 6,500 square feet on Pacific Drive. It'll allow you to build 6,000 square feet of single-family residence or front and rear unit. And the finished product there should sell for about $1,300 a square foot. It's priced at $5,490,000, but just for your knowledge, it can be purchased under $5 million. So if you have a good buyer, bring them by.
Congratulations. Fantastic. I'm going to let you walk up this way because we're recording the needs and wants.
Our new listing, 336 Cherry Tree Lane, 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 3,870 square feet. It's over 10,000 square foot lot coming on today, later, $1,980,000.
Congratulations. Where'd that client come from?
I've actually known her for 25 years.
Okay, sphere of influence. Anybody else? Making the inventory as we go. I'm going to read sales, and congratulations on another phenomenal week. Open escrows, McMonagle team, Via Lido Nord, Newport Beach, buyer at $5 million. Kosh team, Palazzo, Newport Beach, buyer at $2,550,000. Mina and Joseph Magami, Highland Drive, Newport Beach, buyer at $1,500,000. Lila Feingold, double-ended Dovecrest in Irvine at $1,475,000. Debbie Bradbury, East Vista, up in Long Beach, seller at $1,070,000. Sally Shipley, Mariana Donahue, and Ross Armstrong, double-ended Vista Grande in Newport Beach at $1,050,000. Leanne Bowman, King Elder, down in Lisa Viejo, seller at $900,000. Art Rivera Rodeo in Irvine, buyer at $820,000. Kosh team, Peyton Inland, buyer at $700,000. Debbie Bradbury Newland in Huntington Beach, seller at $660,000. Pat and Doris Quinlan, Barbados and Aliso Viejo, buyer at $650,000. David Hine, Cabin Circle, Huntington Beach, seller at $620,000. McMonagle team, Manacor down in Mission Viejo, buyer at $620,000. Pat and Doris Quinlan, double-ended Raven down in Laguna Hills at $490,000. Laura Erickson, Diora Way in Long Beach, buyer at $485,000. Bill Hobbs, Cuervo and Rancho Santa Margarita, sellers $470,000. Haley Shidbash, did I pronounce your name right? Where's Haley?
Yes, you did.
Paseo del Sol down in Rancho Santa Margarita as well, seller at $415,000. Answer Abandoned Sycamore. Inland buyer $370,000, and Bill Hobbs, Avenida Majorca down in Laguna Woods, buyer $320,000. Closings, James Gray, Port Bristol, Newport Beach, double-ended at $2,643,000. McMonagle team, Rockingham, Newport Beach, double-ended at $2,550,000. McMonagle team, Via del Tesoro down in San Clemente, seller at $2,110,000. Bill Hobbs, closed Dover in Newport Beach, seller at $2,001,000. Debbie Bradbury, Marigold, Corona Del Mar, seller at $1,825,000. Brenda McCroskey, Jasmine in Corona Del Mar, seller at $1,570,000. Hillary Thomas Camden in Villa Park, seller at $1,500,000. Mark Simon Bungalow, Newport Beach, seller at $1,366,000. McMonagle team, Maple in Orange, buyer at $925,000. Elaine Steinoff, Blue Ridge in Santa Ana, buyer at $780,000. Aaron Valenti, closed Brindley Place down in Aliso Viejo, buyer at $780,000. Shelley Cohen, Orange Avenue, Costa Mesa, buyer at $740,000. Hillary Thomas, Paseo Robles in Anaheim, buyer at $710,000. Ronnie and Serena, double-ended Nightshade in Irvine at $710,000. Brittany Layton, closed Foxdale, North Orange County, buyer at $550,000. Kosh team, Hamilton, Costa Mesa, seller at $450,000. Art Rivera, closed Streamwood in Irvine, buyer at $330,000. McMonagle team, Orange Grove, out of area, buyer at $325,000. Ronnie and Serena, closed Rancho Bernardo down in San Diego County, buyer at $310,000. Sally Shipley and Mariana Donahue, closed Liberty in Newport Beach, double-ended, $135,000. That's the manufactured housing, I think. Anyway, congratulations to all. I'm going to make an introduction. Yeah, you can clap for that. And you know, sales are strong, but they're tough. We are working hard on every deal, and, you know, that's real estate. That's why we get paid well to do what we do. But it's been a reminder the last 3 weeks, we've got a lot of deal issues, and, yeah, and we have the ability to solve problems and make it work. Earl, is this an open escrow? You handed me, you're nodding? Open escrow? All right. Not on the list, but we have a commercial property car wash in Anaheim, $4,450,000.
Nice.
Congrats.
I closed that 2 weeks.
Sue, what did you close that we didn't get on the list?
Morning Canyon,
Morning Canyon here in Corona Del Mar for
$6.99.
$6.99. Congratulations. I hate it when we don't get the recognition. We worked so hard to get a deal closed, open and closed. I want to recognize them. What else? Oh, Jasmine. That was Rebecca's first deal with Brenda and the team. And that was 721 Jasmine. And that closed at just under $1.6 million. Can you imagine your first sale in this business being $1.6 million? I guess for some of you, yeah, that's just normal. For me, that wasn't normal. But that's exciting. That was a tough one.
The comment was, now I know why realtors drink so much wine.
Yeah. Now Rebecca knows why realtors drink so much wine. It's not an easy business. Not an easy business, and do not wish that it gets easier. Because what's going to happen if it gets easier?
A lot of competition.
More competition, but worse than that for me, yeah, lower commission. How much are they going to pay us if it's easier? You want it easier? I don't want it easier. So, all right, that's it on needs and wants. How many were here last week and heard Miss Shauna Covington? Thoughts, feedback?
She was the last one.
Fabulous.
Did you-
I have a need and want.
Come on.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I took a new listing at 109 Marblehead in Irvine in the Woodbury area. It's 4 bedrooms, 3 bath. We priced it at 1.1, but and it's only been 2 days on the market. We're contingent on an upleg property that I have in escrow, which is also my seller and buyer. So we're very motivated. If you have anyone for Irvine, it's beautiful. It's in a private cul-de-sac location and built in 2010. It's hardwood floors, beautiful upgrades. Anybody for Irvine, great opportunity. It is 2324. So 4 bedrooms, full bed and bath downstairs, hardwood floors, open floor plan, really beautiful. So if you have any buyers, we've got some room in the price. Thank you.
Okay. And Lila's in a neighborhood in Irvine where she works for a client. They are so thrilled with the result and with her performance that they refer her to somebody else, and she takes that listing. And so now they're referring you to somebody else. And so just kind of that, talk about the power of sphere of influence, and people talk good and bad, right? Well, here's a case where you're now, 3 or 4 homes in this neighborhood. You've never handed out a 6, 7, never handed out a marketing piece, and yet the word of mouth is going on in the neighborhood. If you want to hire the person that will just flat out get it done, give us the leadership, be aggressive, handle the marketing, negotiate, and it's spreading through just doing an amazing job for the client. Amazing. Well, good work. Okay, so last week, Shauna. Ev, I'm sorry, I'm going to need you to come this way because I want to get.
Oh, well, it's not long, it's a 1 sentence.
It's still worth it to. And by the way, what is her time worth when she's already closed over $50 million of business this year, and it's only 5 months into the year, and she basically took the whole morning to come and hang out with us? Wow.
Okay, that's part of the reason I'm so impressed with her. I've never had a transaction with her, but she was so low-key. I expect her to come in like dynamo, and she was so low-key and so confident, and I was just really, really impressed with the way she operates, and so that's it.
She carries a gun.
She carries a gun.
Verlaine, what's your thought?
Well, she's just absolutely fabulous, and the fact that, like she said, she's low-key, that she seems to have, she's very grounded and yet very open to people. And I got to contact her, and I did my first open house for her last Friday, and I'm going to do one this Friday, and on Sunday I offered to do her Facebook, and so I'm really thrilled to know such an incredible person.
Yeah. Amazing power with somebody that is so measured and so focused to the person she's talking to and so confident as far as being able to give value to that person after she finds out what they're looking for. I love her style, but that quiet confidence is very, very powerful.
She's genuinely kind.
Genuinely
in
kind.
In all, if you run into her in an open house or you see her in the market or what, she's just genuinely a kind person, and it comes across. She telegraphs that kindness, and people are attracted to that.
Well, I think that's a good way to say it. She's telegraphing that kindness, and you know it's authentic when she's treating the colleagues as well as she treats her client.
She's in 11 escrows right now.
She's in 11 escrows, and still as calm as can be. Lot to learn there? Amazing. That's how real estate is supposed to look. Fantastic. Let's continue the conversation on, by the way, remember the percentage of business that came from her open houses this year? 65% of her 50 plus million in closings this year is from open houses. Which means she didn't know those people last year. She didn't know some of them a month ago. So how big is the opportunity today, tomorrow, this weekend to be at an open house, to meet people and to be prepared? Huge. That's our business. And so I wanted to pull Stacy in and talk about making that open house more of a marketing event, getting more people there, because it's flat out maybe the easiest way that you can gain clients and find business if you go in prepared. And isn't it refreshing that, change is happening in the world, change is happening in our business in a big way, but as far as where the opportunity to find clients is, that's the same as it was when Mike got into the business way back. It's the same when I got into the business 30 years ago. It's the same for those that got in the business 10 years ago. Open house is a huge, in fact, Tom Ferry lists the top 4 sources of business today with his networking with agents all over the world. And there you go. Remember the 4? Anybody remember the 4, the order? Open house was one of them. Sphere of influence was one. Geographic farming was a third. And then social media. Marketing largely through social media. Wow. So all of them but one was around 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, all of them but one, right? So we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We have 100 active listings in this office. I would love to have almost all of them held open every weekend. I'd love to have a lot of them held open during the week. Could anybody?
We have 166.
We have 166 actives? Does that include pendings?
No.
Wow,
Straight up.
166 active listings. Why not have them open? Is it good for the seller?
Yes.
Absolutely good for the seller. Is it good for the seller when you go under contract for a backup offer? Of course. Of course. Why not make your office the open house instead of sitting in your cubicle where the odds of somebody coming up to your cubicle wanting to buy a house are pretty low? Right? Todd,
Yes, sir.
yesterday,
Yes.
open house in the village. It's a Monday. What are you thinking?
3 o'clock to 7 o'clock, I had 4 families come through. 2 called last night, 2 followed up this morning.
Okay, so here's Todd on a Monday afternoon deciding to hold an open house in the village from 3 to 7. Has 4 parties come through, all buyers that could be real. 2 of them, well, you communicated with 2 last night, 2 this morning, because of a Monday afternoon open house.
I was open Friday afternoon in Laguna Beach. We had 6 people come way up the hill, follow the signs.
In Laguna, Friday afternoon.
6 couples.
6 couples come through.
All interested.
All interested. I mean, is there something here that we're not really clued in on? Maybe? I love this, because we're always in angst on spending marketing money to find a client, right? I don't know what to spend, I don't know where to spend it, I don't know if it's going to pay off. How much does it cost to go sit at an open house? Well, if you're doing it the way Stacy does it, you're going to spend a little bit on, come on up, let's talk about that a little bit. So,
I have handouts, but I only printed
all right, we'll go print some more. And I'm going to hand you this.
I'll give you that, I'll trade you.
And so this is a follow-up on a conversation we had with Stacy last year, 12 months ago, 18 months ago. And Stacy creates her open house in a way that there is a lead time to market it. We're gonna need to make some more. And it generates a massive number of people through. So we're gonna continue that conversation, and thanks for willing to participate. Just like Shauna, when our top agents are willing to give back and talk about what they're doing, we all benefit. So I'm gonna hand these out, and
Okay.
we're gonna make some more copies.
Yeah, and I didn't create this whole thing. So yeah, I got this from coaching, and I got this from a couple of agents that I know that are top agents, not necessarily in this area. In fact, not even in the state. But so anyway, this open house is primarily like when you take a listing. So take a listing, you know. And so this would be your first open house, the mega open house, the massive open house, the first sneak peek open house, whatever you want to call it. But that's your best opportunity to get a real buyer to be present for that open house and for that property, because as we all know that there's a lot of buyers with pent-up demand. They've seen everything on the market, and then when there's a new listing, they flood to go see that right away, and you have more activity showing a property in the first 7 to 14 days, maybe 3 weeks, than you will have in the next couple of months. So because the buyers who have already lost an opportunity in maybe multiple bids, or their offer wasn't accepted, or they couldn't find what they wanted, they're going to come see the new listing. So take a listing. So this is what this is for that new listing that you have. So basically, I mean, some of this is very elementary, but it's a whole system. So you prep the house before it goes in the MLS, and that has to do with counseling the sellers. Obviously, HGTV has been one of our best friends, and we used to have a long conversation and try to convince people and arm wrestle with them to fix their house. You know, it needs to be clean, it needs to be uncluttered, you need to move some things out, put them in the garage, put them in storage. You don't have to do that so much anymore. They understand. But there's some other tricks that you can do that are helpful. And one of the things that I had somebody coach me on, which I thought was fabulous and it works like a charm, was that every closet in the house, you need to have uniform hangers. So when I was redoing my first client's house, it's like the husband wanted all black. Okay, great. The wife wanted all white. But everything is on the same identical color hanger. And then you take like all of your, like we're talking about ladies' clothing, like all the short sleeve shirts and whatever, and you do it from light to dark colors. And then all the long